So you may be thinking to yourself, is it time to finally upgrade to a Mac Studio? I've got a MacBook Pro, M1 Max, or M2 Max for that matter, but should I get the Studio now that has an M2 Ultra chip, or should I just stay with the MacBook Pro? Both are great machines. I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you should be considering the Mac Studio depending on your work needs. Number 1, size. If you're worried about portability, do not be. This machine is very small. I've never used a Mac Studio before until the M2 Ultra and M2 Max. And I was shocked at the size of this thing. I mean, we're used to seeing PC towers with, RGB lighting and fans, and they just it looks like it's out of a, some sort of server room, right? I mean, they look cool, but they take up a lot of space on a desk. Now, if you're into gaming, great. You need those. But if you're into content creation, this Mac Studio M2 Ultra is this. You can put it into a backpack. You can take it onto a train. If you're working in the city, you want to go home and work, you can do that. As long as you got a display at home, you're free to go. You want to travel across the country, you can do it. As long as the place you're going to has a display that you can plug into, you're good. It's portable. It's not that heavy. Now, the M2 Max version is lighter than the M2 Ultra, but it's quite light considering how much power this machine has. Next up, power. The M2 Ultra is the creme de la creme when it comes to power out of these M series chipsets. It's friggin' amazing. Now, here's the thing with the power. Depending on your usage, now if you are a graphic designer, if you're doing 3D animation, Cinema 4D, After Effects, and this is where you live in, and you're doing 8K video, you're doing rendering, compositing, all that kind of stuff, Ultras, that's the playground you want to be in. Right now, the M2 Max can do a lot of that, definitely can, but the M2 Ultra will be shockingly good. Now, you're not going to always see it all the time in its most powerful form. Day-to-day tasks, the M2 Max and the M2 Ultra are relatively the same. Now, I've done a video on my channel, and that'll be going more in depth with cinema gear and everything else. But it's 30% faster on average than the M1 Ultra. For production houses that are on a time crunch, 30% faster means a lot. It means a lot. You can do more, multitask more, and give you 30% more power. That's worth the investment. Now, for the average person out there, you probably just stick with an M2 Max, and then that will be more than adequate for you. The Ultra is where it shines, and if you have the means to buy an Ultra, do so, because this computer will last you a number of years, and I'll talk about that later on. Next is ports. Now, one of my biggest issues with a lot of Apple's Pro laptops, the MacBook Pro especially, is the lack of ports. Now, even though the MacBook Pro has more ports than the MacBook Air, for someone like me who's a content creator who uses an external audio device that I record into, I have card readers, external storage devices, I'm running out of ports, plus a display, right? The Mac Studio gives you more ports, USB-C, USB-A, Thunderbolt 4, card readers, you have everything inside this machine. So if you need these things, especially because you're creating a lot of content, you have external drives that you need to have access to, card readers you need access to, audio devices like I do that need access to, this is where the Mac Studio shines. It has the ports you need. Could it use more ports? We could always use more ports, but it's got enough for me and enough for most people out there that I think that are going to be using this for professional reasons. And I'm very happy to be able to use this and not have to take things out, plug things in and out, just to actually maximize my content.
Here at Geek Culture, we've tested plenty of chairs, but Secretlab gaming chairs remain one of our favorites. Whether it's for work or play, they feel great to lean back against, with their ergonomic features offering support for the whole body, from the head and back to the arms, and even something for your butt. This mix of form and function helps the Titan Evo 2022 deliver the best seating experience like no other. For more information, check out secretlab.co.
Next, let's talk about monitors. You need more monitors than one? Well, the Mac Studio M2 Ultra can handle 8. 8K resolution, 240 Hz. Refresh rate, it can handle up to 8 displays. Do you need 8 displays? Well, unless you're Bruce Wayne in the Batcave, you probably don't all the time. Maybe some people do. But Apple says, well, if you are Bruce Wayne, you can put this in the Batcave, and that's all you need. I'm Batman. Pretty damn amazing, right? I'm just using one. Studio display. Love it. Awesome. And last but not least, future-proofing. Apple has really come a long way with their own silicon, right? The M1, M1 Max, M1 Ultra, friggin' phenomenal. The M2 series is where it really shines. And I know Apple's going to come out with an M3, M4, M5. They always will. I can safely say the M2 Ultra is going to be a machine that is going to be with you for a few years. I mean, the M1 Ultra, you could say that as well. But the M2 Ultra with more RAM inside of it now, I mean, the more configurations you can do with this, how powerful this machine is. A lot of pros and content creators out there, the Ultra will be the only computer you need for the next 3 years. I mean, I'm putting money on that. I don't know how much, but I'm putting money on that. Seriously, it is, because we're not really, I mean, 8K, we're seeing it more into prosumer cameras, we're seeing it more come into play, but it's not mainstream as of yet. When it becomes mainstream, let me tell you something, this thing edits 8K like it's HD. No stuttering, nothing. Apple quotes 22 streams in ProRes. I was doing 30 streams with red 8K raw footage, and it was still playing smoothly. That's how powerful this machine is. It is future-proof. So if you're worried about your investment going to waste after a year or so, do not be. This machine is going to last you. And personally for me, if I could afford an M2 Ultra, I would get it because I'm done. I can sit back, I can edit anything I need to edit for YouTube or for whatever work, TikTok, Instagram, and I ain't got nothing to worry about. So with that said, those are 5 reasons why you should consider the Mac Studio M2 Ultra and M2 Max. Now, the M2 Max is going to be fine for most people out there. I would say 85% of people out there, the M2 Max is more than adequate. Just get enough RAM. That is the key to this machine. Buy extra RAM. You can't put it in afterwards. You got to buy it when you order it, but do that, you're going to be fine. The M2 Ultra is for the pros out there that need this for their living. They need faster rendering, faster, for animations and Cinema 4D, everything that you need. That's where the Ultra comes into play. It's overkill for most, but for the pros that need it, it's friggin' awesome. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button as well. If you want to see more of our laptop reviews from Apple especially, check them out right here.